And we are going to continue, ladies and gentlemen, with the Gamers Assembly 2019. We are now finding ourselves in the loser bracket. It is going to be a match that will be played out between 4 players. Once again, we have 2 French players in the names of Kronos and Zad. Kronos currently having no team, Zad playing for UB team. Then we have oNio, the German prodigy that has been playing TrackMania for 500 decades. He is finally competing again here, holding up the flag for Mouse Sports. And then we have Egér from Hungary, playing for MNM. So, we're gonna play this match here. We're gonna start on Rebellion by Kaisla. The point system will remain the same once again. Point limit 100, point repartition 10, 6, 4, and 3. And we're gonna play 5 rounds per map. That's all you need to know. And we're gonna dive straight into the warm-up here with these 4 players. The top 2 will move forward in the loser bracket. The bottom 2 will drop out of the competition. So this is the last chance for each of these 4 players to move forward and potentially get closer and closer, and if not even reach the grand final at the end of this beautiful, beautiful and sunny Sunday day. Sunday day, yes. So, GLHF. Let's kick it off here between these 4 players. And here we go. Let's follow Zad. He has been doing pretty well here. Let's see if he's going to be able to keep up a good performance. He is off to a very, very good start, actually. Already has gotten himself a 0.1 lead over everyone else. Kronos being someone that is incredibly, incredibly experienced in LAN events. He has been competing for years. And there is the first mistake by Zad immediately. As I praised him for his good performance, he is making the first mistake of the match. But to continue my sentence, actually, it is Kronos who has a lot of experience in his pockets. He has attended pretty much every Gamers Assembly tournament in the past years, and right now he is actually leading this race over Egér. oNio has made a small mistake here, is already 0.6 behind. The German player making another mistake as I switch to him with the spectator camera. So let's take a look here at the end of this first round. It is Kronos that has a pretty comfortable lead, goes out a bit wide here, but will able to pass the jump just fine and finishes with a good time of 56.2. Egér just a glimpse behind, 0.18 behind Kronos, so a good round for those 2 in the top 2. 10 points for Kronos, 6 for Egér, 4 for oNio, and 3 for Zad going into round number 2. So oNio, someone that has competed in TrackMania since even before TrackMania Nations Forever, I believe. So he has been around for so long. Out of all of these players, he definitely has the biggest play, or well, he's playing for the longest time, I believe at least. Egér being pretty new to the game. I don't think he's playing for too long. Kronos being, yeah, pretty known and pretty active. Not sure about Zad, actually. I think he's also pretty old school. But yeah, oNio playing forever. He actually switched styles as well. He used to be a full speed player, and then he switched to tech, and now he's playing everything, and he's really good at everything. So now he's trying to show his skills here on this LAN event, and right now he is actually fighting with Egér and Kronos here for the 10 points. oNio now going out super wide here, going for a very wide approach here, accumulating a lot of speed, and it did actually pay off for oNio, who is getting the 10 points here, just 200s ahead of Kronos, which was a very decently executed ending there by all of the players. Egér going down to 3rd place with a 0.16 disadvantage, and then there's Zad, who made a little blunder here in the beginning and is gonna take 3 points out of round 2. Oh yeah, and of course oNio also playing Canyon back in the days when it was being played competitively. oNio, I believe he took 2nd in the ESWC 2012 in TrackMania² Canyon. So he is an all-rounder and he can pick up everything that he wants. So let's take a look at him. He is right now at 14 points on 2nd place in the scoreboard right now, leading this race. However, gets snacked by Kronos here with that inside line. Zad jumping a little bit, gets a little bit of airtime, but he was able to stabilize even though he does not get the greatest exit speed. So Egér, who is actually, I believe, the youngest one out of this entire lineup here, is making a huge mistake in the hairpin. oNio now in the lead. Kronos gets the no slide here, entering the right-hander. oNio going super out wide here once again. Almost hits the wall on the left side, but he clocks in a 56.068. That is a really, really tough nut to crack here for all of the 3 opponents. oNio gets the next 10-pointer and will take over the lead here with 24 points in total. Kronos down to second with 19, Egér with 14, and Zad with 12. Round number 4. As I said before, we are going to see 5 rounds per map. Point limit will be 100 with finalist mode. And it is oNio and Zad that get a very, very similar start trajectory here. Almost taking the very same line. And there goes oNio with a definitely avoidable mistake on the right side. He hits the wall there. So oNio will be eliminated out of this round already. Will not be able to do any sort of damage unless someone makes a mistake here going through the round. Zad right now leading. Egér going for the overtake, attacking Kronos here, gets a very, very good turn here as well. Zad will remain in the lead so far, but that was a very, very badly calculated hairpin right there for Zad. The next mistake for him, he did not get a single clean lap through, I believe, so far. So Zad is showing a little bit of an inconsistency compared to the other players. So that's definitely not what you want to have in a format like this, where consistency is so, so important. Egér getting the 10 pointers here, and he is closing in to oNio and Kronos. It is now only 3 points between first and third place. Zad down to 16 points so far. Round number 5, here we go. Everyone super close to each other through the first couple of bends on Rebellion. Someone going for a little bit of a very, very wide approach. I believe that was Egér. I don't know. Something like that. The pronunciation is a mystery to me. I don't know. I'm sorry, dude. But yeah, let's follow the round here. oNio with a very, very risky line, actually shooting himself up to first place. Zad remains on second. Zad certainly showing that he does have the pace, but he did make a lot of mistakes so far. But here, actually, greatly executed turn, completely destroying oNio, who doesn't really get the greatest turn here, but he will remain in front of Kronos here, jumping towards the finish. And Zad finally gets a clean run through, and it is actually a banger of a time as well, 56.092. That is something that definitely looks pretty good here, and he will get his first 10 points, finally, after 5 rounds. Round number 2. Map number 2, actually. It will be Egér, the duo map between Bastimon and Wouter. This is going to be our second map in this matchup. oNio right now leading with 33 points over Kronos, who's sitting there with 29. Egér being 27 points. And Zad with 26. So, not really two big gaps between the players here. So that is going to be very, very exciting going on to the second map as we approach the warm-up here. Every map will have one warm-up for the players, where they can quickly get back into the groove of the specific track. And then we will be playing it out on 5 live rounds. A little bit of an easier track compared to what we see on a bunch of other tracks. So the rounds could be pretty close on this one. The world record here being a 53.11 by Sampi Kappa. Let's go into round number 1. Zad off to a good start, goes for very tight and direct lines, does not get the greatest speed here, so he will get passed by oNio, who goes out a bit wide here. Egér going for an inside approach here for the little jump, everyone being very, very close to each other. Kronos right now being the player on the bottom position, but this is still very, very close. Too close to be called, in fact. So let's take a look here at the first chicane, where we have seen the first blunder by Zad. So he's going to be out of this one. And also Egér losing out on a 10th here. So he's going to find himself on 3rd place, trailing behind Kronos and oNio. Kronos now not with the greatest line here, stumbled a lot over the outside Randstein right there, so he lost a lot of grip there. oNio now trying to secure himself the 10 points, and he will do so, and jumps through the finish line with a 53.54. Kronos on 2nd, Egér not able to snipe him there at the end, so Kronos will secure himself the 6-pointer, and Egér with 4, Zad with 3, barely able to reach the finish line. Must have made maybe another mistake after the first one. Round number 2. oNio slightly extending his lead now after the 10 points. He has gotten 4 extra points over Kronos. Looking good for the German player who is representing mouse sports for a long time already. And continues to perform pretty well in this match. Let's take a look at Zad. Very inconsistent so far. He certainly does have the pace, as I said earlier, but in a format like this, it doesn't really matter whether you're fast. Because if you're fast but you make a lot of mistakes, you're just not going to get the big points. And that way, you won't be able to get anywhere. Egér now with the first mistake, dropping down to 4th. Kronos with a big lead over oNio, but oNio is attacking. oNio with a lot of overspeed right here. Opting for the inside line, goes really close to the inside barrier. Kronos with more speed will most likely have the low jump, and he will find himself 200s ahead of oNio right there. Kronos with that outside approach and the slightly lower jump trajectory near the end was enough to get back that first place that he had before entering the final corner. So oNio not getting the 10 points here, and the gap between 1st and 2nd will be 4 points again. 49 to 45. And then we have Egér and Zad, who are losing out on a bunch of points here. And oNio actually touching the first available wall. That is a mistake that he's not going to be very happy about. That is a very avoidable mistake, if I may say so myself. So oNio will be out of this one here, already 0.6 behind. Kronos in the lead. This is a very good opportunity for him to take over the lead in the total score, actually, if he gets first. And oNio remains last. Oh my god, Kronos almost fell off the track, actually. Keep in mind, there are no respawns. So if you fall out of the track, or if you flip or something, you're out. You can't finish. And Kronos being very lucky right there. So he did have a very good opportunity at getting to the top of the food chain here, at the top of the scoreboard, but instead it will be Zad that gets his second 10 points. Will be a good motivation boost for him, maybe 53.80, the only player that gets under 54. So a good round right there for Zad. Egér gets second and oNio on P3. Round number 4. oNio, as a result, remains in the lead. Has gotten 1 extra point over Kronos. And oNio is now halfway through at 53 points. Point limit is 100, so nothing's lost yet. Even for Egér, who is 13 points behind the leader, even he can possibly go back to first. Maybe on the next map, which could be a good one for him. He could certainly get some of those juicy 10 points that are so important in this point repetition system. Very important to get those first places and the second places as well. So let's take a look here at this round right here. Kronos is leading over oNio. oNio going out very wide. Almost hit the wall on the right side. That was a really risky approach by the German player. But he remains on second place here. Not able to come any closer to Kronos. So if Kronos does not mess up the jump here and the drift into the right-hander here. Oh, that was actually not too good by Kronos. oNio goes for the overtake, but he jumps a little too low. And he goes from possibly first to last by jumping too low. That was the worst round to make this mistake, because everyone got through this time. Kronos winning with 10 points, and that was the best case scenario for Kronos. He is actually going into the lead now and is 2 points ahead of Kronos in total. oNio risking it for the biscuit right there. He knew he was next to the opponent right there because the cars are forced on. He knew that Kronos was right next to him, and he was risking it for the biscuit to get the last possible time save right there, but it wasn't enough for oNio. So now it is redemption time for him. He is coming closer to Zad, who oversteered this right-hander a little bit right here. Not the greatest speed for him. So oNio now attacking on the inside here. Will go for the overtake on the platform. A little bit of a wider approach. And there goes Zad into the inside barrier. And it will be Egér that of course, inherits that second place. Essentially, Kronos going up to third now, and these positions look to be almost set in stone already. We have massive gaps here. oNio, the only one that has not made a mistake here in this round. Egér on second place, most likely going to take it home here. oNio is jumping here with ease. We'll get a 53.718. That's going to be the 10-pointer for him, and he's back in the lead. So we have a little bit of a yo-yo here between Kronos and oNio for P1 in the scoreboard. 66 for oNio, 62 for Kronos, 52 for Egér, and Zad with 50. So the overall gap between the players, between first and fourth, didn't really get any bigger. It is still only, quote-unquote, 16 points, which isn't a lot. But now that we're creeping in closer to the point limit, it is now going to be very important to get as many points as possible. And especially avoid DNFs, because DNFs are the worst thing that can happen to you, and they're gonna throw you back so much in a match like this. Our next map is gonna be Tranquilo by Wouter, the map with the ending. And the world record here, of course, by Kappa as well, 56.50. This one's gonna be for sure an interesting one, where it's gonna be especially important to survive the ending. Let's take a look here at the warm-up. So it has been a back and forth here between oNio and Kronos. Egér and Zad are still there, and they're still present, but they're not really getting the 10 points too often, and that's just what makes them be behind so much by that many points. They're just not getting the big points. That's the problem that they have. So here we go with the GLHF, with the obligatory good luck, have fun here. So let's go on to the next track, 5 rounds once again. Perhaps we have the chance to see a finalist, even though oNio would have to drive out of his mind to reach that. So let's follow Kronos here through the first set of corners. Egér with a very aggressive line to the inside. Kronos opting for a lot of speed here over that freewheel section. He is actually getting very close to the leader of the race, which is Zad right now for Ubi team. oNio being a tiny tad behind, but not really all too much. He can definitely catch up from that if he busts out a very good second half of the track. Now Zad and Kronos both French players actually hopping over that inside ramp, and both actually smashing themselves into the checkpoint, even though Zad certainly did a bigger mistake than Kronos. So let's take a look here at the top two. It is Egér that is on his way to take very important 10 points for him, which would be very good for him. oNio not really able to do any sort of damage here unless Egér makes a mistake here at the end. Low jump required, and Egér with a sick time here, 56.93. That is a really good time here for the Hungarian player. oNio being left behind with no chance. 6 points for him though. Kronos with 4 and Zad with 3. Round number 2. oNio now up to 72. Wasn't able to get the 10-pointer before, which is going to make it essentially harder to become a finalist here on Tranquilo. But nothing's impossible. Let's take a look at him. Kronos has already fell behind a little bit here. He's already 0.2 behind. So not the greatest start here for Kronos, but he is trying to come back here. He is pushing it. Goes for a lot of speed, but unable to come any closer to the 3-man battle here, which is absolutely insane. Zad going out the widest here, gets the most speed out of it. Egér leading by 1 wheel length right here. oNio now pushing it here on the blue part, on the left-hander here. This part going to be very important for the exit speed. Egér gets the best exit speed out of this one. So Zad and oNio are going to fight it out for P2 here. oNio now with more exit speed, now trying to go for the overtake on Zad, who goes for a very tight line. Egér still in the lead. oNio now with the snipe here at the end, but he jumps too high, and he will lose that second place that he almost had in his backpack. Egér with the next sub 57 time. He seems to be on fire here, ladies and gentlemen. Egér with the second 10-pointer in a row, and he will go up to second place here. Now, Only 4 points short to actually being the leader of the race. Egér with great comebacks here. What a man. This map certainly seems to bode well for our youngster from Hungary. He is, I believe, only 17 years old or something around that, so he is really young compared to some of the other players that are closing into 27 or something, like Kronos and oNio, who are already a little bit older than Egér. But on the track, it doesn't really matter. And then oNio with a full stop into the checkpoint is going to be out of this one. And that is going to be dangerous for his first place, because if Egér gets first, then it will be a position change right there for P1 in the scoreboard. Egér versus Kronos right here, coming up to the ending right here. And also Zad is within reach. He is smelling the exhaust of the top 2 players. Zad now going for a very inside line. Not the greatest exit speed for him. So Egér will remain on P1. He will actually go for the safe finish here. Egér with another time under 57. Amazing consistency. He is able to keep Kronos, the French player, right behind him. oNio actually with a DNF as well. This is terrible for oNio. He's gonna lose out on so many points. And Egér is now leading this match with 82 points. What a comeback. What a comeback. Amazing performance by Egér. 3 times that have been super close to each other. Did he enable the bot or what? Insane. Insane. Oh, Zad is out. Zad playing golf with friends right here. He is in the hole. Birdie for Zad. 0 points. That will remain, or that will leave the 3 players left on the track here. It will be oNio, Kronos, and Egér. Very close. oNio having a slight advantage here. Kronos has to lift off and he hits the wall on the left side. It will be between oNio and Egér. If oNio gets a 10-pointer, he will come close to Egér again. It will be decided at the end here. oNio goes for a little bit of a tighter approach. Egér with more exit speed. He's risking it for the biscuit right here. And he is actually going for it. But Egér jumps too high. And it will be oNio that actually takes it by only 0.05 of a second. Egér was not able to nail that last jump into the finish right here. Kronos playing a turtle. And we have 2 DNFs in this round actually. Unbelievable. oNio with an amazing end right there, jumping as low as possible, and he will actually get close to Egér now in total. 88 to 86, Kronos losing out on a lot of points on this track, on Tranquilo, and also Zad now 25 points behind the leader essentially, so that is gonna be a tough nut to crack for him. Ooh, that was a risky line by Egér, but he manages to stabilize, and he is actually in the lead right here. For now, that is. oNio has made a mistake, 0.6 behind. He's out. Egér, Zad, and Kronos. Kronos going a little bit wider here. Travels a lot of distance. Oh, and there's the touch on the inside. And that will enable oNio, the German player for Mouse Sports, to take over the 3rd position right here. That is going to be 1 extra point for him. But we have to look out for this fight right here. Egér, the master of Tranquilo, once again on the 1st place. Not giving any chance to Zad. It will be decided at the end once again. Zad actually getting a really good ending. Super close to the outside wall. And he will actually be able to defeat Egér here by 0.08 of a second. What a sick ending by Zad. That could have gone wrong so badly, but in this case it was actually enough, and with that he actually gets 10 points, and Kronos with the 2nd DNF in a row. That is gonna hurt. Kronos on tilt. Kronos may be tilting now. He is so many points behind. Egér might become a finalist here together with oNio. We might see a double finalist after this. If oNio takes 1st and Egér gets 2nd, we have double finalist on Invictus by MD points. So the top 2 is still being fought for, and then we have a considerably big gap now down to 3rd place. It is 15 points between oNio and Kronos. So I wouldn't say that oNio and Egér are safe right now, but they definitely have some margin to work with. The question is, will they make use of it? Finalist mode can be a bitch. It can really play with your mind. And we have seen so many twists being caused by finalist mode in the history of TrackMania matches. So a lot can happen, and I wouldn't count out Kronos, who still has that poker face and he knows that he can still make it happen. And the warm-up looks good for him. The warm-up does not look bad for Kronos, actually. He can still make something happen. He can deny finalists. He can certainly make it happen. This will be do or die. All of these upcoming rounds are going to be super, super important. More important than any other round before. 94 points for Egér, 90 for oNio, 75 for Kronos, and 73 for Zad. Round number 1, here we go. As I said before, a top 1 for oNio and a top 2 for Egér, and we have double finalists. Will it happen, or will the two Frenchies deny that? So far, no mistakes being made so far. oNio with a very risky inside line here on this left-hander, shooting himself up to position number 1 here so far. Egér on second. Getting passed by Zad, but he has to adjust his line a lot, and this is actually the scenario that we want to see. oNio on 1 and Egér on 2. The two Frenchies are actually pretty far behind in the mid part already. We are almost 40 seconds in, and it looks like we might actually have double finalists. Egér is trying to close into oNio, but the gap is actually more than a tenth right here, going into the second to last corner to the left right here. Now we have the last platform corner remaining, the last jump for oNio and Egér. oNio going out very wide, gets the 10th jump, and we will have double finalist mode. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Double finalist mode for oNio and Egér, both fighting to survive in the loser bracket of the Gamers Assembly 2019. Here we go, both with their first finalist attempt. The pressure is higher than ever before for these two players. Kronos and Zad are so far behind that they will need a couple of rounds to get finalists as well. So oNio and Egér will have multiple finalist attempts. But both of them are striving to make it happen in their first attempt. The longer you stay in finalist, the more of an effect, or of a negative effect it will have on your mind. And right now it is actually Zad who is on the run. He's playing out of his mind right now. He's 0.2 ahead of Egér and oNio. They really need to push it now. Otherwise Zad will actually snipe and deny two finalists in one round. Zad is still continuing to keep up the pace, but he doesn't get the best speed through the freewheel section. Goes to the right of the pole. It will be decided at the end right here. Zad with a super nice line here to the left side. oNio's creeping in closer right now, and also Egér trying to make something happen right now. oNio with the inside line, not with the greatest speed right there. Zad will stay in the lead, and he denies two finalists in this round. What a man. What a man. The underdog of this match, who has been fourth for the majority of this round, now moving up to third place, passes Kronos and denies two finalists. Crazy, crazy gameplay. Finalist attempt number 2 for Germany and for Hungary. 86 points for Zad and 83 for Kronos. They are not out yet. And there's the first mistake by oNio now. He's making the mistake, and Egér can now make it happen as well. But he also stumbles, and we have the two Frenchies actually leading over the two finalists right now. Egér really needs to drive out of his mind right now. He needs to drive world record pace to go for some overtakes right here. Zad, not with the greatest left-hander right here, overtakes, or lets himself get overtaken right here. And also here, not the greatest line for Zad, so it is the 1v1 between Kronos and Egér. Egér going for the inside line. Kronos might have a little bit more speed, but he doesn't get the greatest line here down the hill. Egér in the lead, and he could make it over and out right here. Kronos is pushing it, goes super far to the inside right here, but Egér with a 0.600 lead at the checkpoint, but Kronos crashes, and this is GG for Egér if he does not die at the ending, and he won't. Egér is through. GG. Egér for M&M is through. He wins in his second finalist attempt, and he will advance through the loser bracket. GG. oNio will still remain a finalist, and Zad has 89 points. So that will give oNio at least one extra chance if he messes this one up as well. Because if Zad wins, he's going to stay there at 99 points. 99 points being not enough to become a finalist, because you need 100. So let's take a look here. This is going to be the second to last round on Invictus. Doesn't seem to be the greatest map for oNio so far. Wasn't really able to show amazing speed. And also here, he's only on P2. Goes for a little bit of a more inside line. Zad in the lead. Kronos with a lot of speed right here. That is going to be a really good section for Kronos. He's going to go up to first place, leaving both opponents right behind him. Zad touches and he's out. Kronos is the only one that can deny oNio right now. He needs to survive the ending. He avoids the mistake that he did in the previous round, and now it's only the jump remaining for Kronos. And he makes it, and oNio gets denied again. And that must hurt so much for the German. He gets denied a third time. oNio being stuck in finalist mode, and both Frenchies are creeping in closer. Kronos with 97 points only needs to finish now, and he will be a finalist as well. Zad needs to get first in order to become a finalist. So this scenario could possibly happen. A three-way finalist status can possibly occur. Round number 5. oNio off to the greatest start. He is fed up with this. He wants to finish it. He has been stuck in finalist mode for way too long. And right now, he is leading. He is off to the greatest start right here. Kronos, roughly a car length behind. Doesn't really get the greatest precise line around the right-hander here. So oNio will find himself in a decent lead so far. This corner gonna be important. Kronos gets it just as nicely as oNio, both having the exact same exit speed out of that left-hander. Now the ending will be decisive. Similar trajectory for this left-hander here. oNio with a tiny tad more exit speed. He will take it here if he doesn't mess up the ending. That is maybe too tight of a line. Will oNio have enough speed? I'm not sure if he's going to make the jump. And he won't! oNio dies! And he is not going to make it again. That line was too tight. I saw it coming. And he is going to crush his keyboard after this round. He is gonna crush his keyboard after this. That was way too tight, and oNio must be crying tears right now. Kronos now a finalist as well, and Zad could become one as well. We're going on to POC 10, and this is definitely our last map for this match. oNio definitely with a super unnecessary inside line right there at the end. Not sure what he thought about that. I think it was just the pressure that made him think that he needs to go for an attack on the inside, and then it simply wasn't enough. oNio now getting denied left, right, center. Will oNio close it out right here? He needs to face Kronos now because both are finalists. Oh, and that is not looking good in a warm-up, ladies and gentlemen. oNio performing a backflip. This is incredibly high pressure situation right now. Given the situation that Kronos and oNio both fail, or if Zad just drives out of his mind, we're gonna have triple finalist mode, and only one will survive. Only one will be able to move forward in the loser bracket. The bottom two will drop out of the Gamers Assembly 2019. Here we go with potentially the last round of this match. Kronos versus oNio versus Zad. Zad is off to the greatest start. I can't believe what I'm seeing here. oNio and Kronos both opting for some wider lines here, going super far to the outside, getting a tiny tad more speed, but not quite enough to go for the overtake on Zad. Zad going very out wide here, has to lift off a little bit, so Kronos and oNio are coming dangerously close now. Neck and neck at the checkpoint, only 300s apart from all of the three players. Platform corner gonna be... Oh my god, oNio, that was so close to the inside. I wonder how he did not manage to hit his forehead right there. But he survives, and the first one is gonna be out. Zad is dead. Zad is dead. It will be between the two finalists right now. oNio super far ahead, and Kronos not with the greatest line right here. Kronos being 0.3 behind, and oNio knows that Kronos is super far behind. The last corner coming up right here. Will Mousesports oNio survive the ending? One last jump through the hole will remain, and he will do so. oNio's in. Kronos is out. And Zad will be out as well. GG, oNio will survive in the loser bracket. oNio kept himself cool and he avoided the mistakes that the other opponents have done. oNio will move on in the loser bracket together with Egér from Team M&M. GG.